Oh boy, are we. We're ready for you now. We got KUHS Radio TV Denver in the house right now. What we're going to do is we're going to do an up close and personal with the Love Doctor. Danny Yu from the Heartbeat Show. Everything you wanted to know, everything you wanted to ask, everything that could be asked is going to be, I'm going to try to ask. Don't forget, we're brought to you by Trojans. Trojan Condom Company.
Magnum.
Minis. We're brought to you by Trojan Minis. And that's where we started out here on KUHS. So I want you to stick around, check it out. Danny's going to start off with letting us know what he was like since 5 years old to 12 years old. He's going to talk a little bit, and I'll be right back. I got to do some sharing real quick, and once I share, I'll be back, and we're going to get it started, Danny.
Oh, so yeah. Oh, we're getting started right now?
We're getting started right now. From 5 years old.
From 5 years old
to 12. Have fun, bro.
Well, let me just start by thanking you for the opportunity to get on air on the worldwide format. Henry, you and the familia. Yours truly, Danny Uliberry, the Love Doctor here. If you want to start back to when I was born in New Mexico, the Villanueva Valley, I was adopted and was raised in Brighton, Colorado, about 20 miles north of here. It was a unique time in my life because at that age I was very ill, and I had contracted that dreaded cancer, and I had intestinal cancer when I was 9, and that was a tough time because you never know what's really going to happen. The stories from my family were that, they originally had only given me a year to live when I was 9 because the type of cancer I had and the surgery that they did was kind of breaking edge technology at that time, so it wasn't really sure if it was going to work. And so initially they gave me a year to live at 9 years old, and fortunately for me, I was able to beat that and, carry on with my life, and did some pretty interesting things. So I was adopted by a family out of Brighton, my aunt and uncle, Joe and Elsie Rodriguez, and I thank them so much for giving me the opportunity to continue my life and be a productive person. Coming out of that, the cancer, after that kind of all subsided and I started feeling better, I was a Brighton bull pup in Brighton, Colorado. That's where you get started in Brighton. Once you're a bull pup, then you go up to be a bulldog. Brighton High School. Just really, it was a kind of a dark time for me when I was young. The only thing that really stood with me, because it seemed like you were always sick and in bed, was I remember having a really nice stereo with some headphones, and music was always with me. And I always loved slow music and slow jams. That was always kind of my thing, even growing up as a young man. Slow jams and music was always there to kind of ease the pain, so to speak, and so it's always been a part of my life, really important. Was that 2 minutes, Henry?
That was 2 minutes.
It wasn't?
You was like, I'm running out of things to say. It's like,
because I was starting to jump to an older age.
So you want to get to your older stuff.
The parameter was 12 years old,
yes,
which,
so
I got
to stop, But you were known as Trippin' Dan as you got older.
Well,
why were you known as Trippin' Dan? Back in the day, you couldn't smoke marijuana and get away with it.
Marijuana. Well, Brighton, we were kind of a semi-city, but more country-oriented. So
when the train stopped, you got to go graffiti.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever put pennies on the
all
trains?
the time.
Because it came right through the middle of Brighton?
Came right through the middle of Brighton.
Freak were they thinking?
I don't know. Who would build a town right next to the train track? I mean, the downtown.
Yeah.
That is downtown Brighton, right next to the train track.
Blows up, I mean, that's
Could you imagine that going off the rails, and I'd have to find a new hairstylist. Sorry, Darlene. Yeah, the train would come through there of Art of Hair Salon in Brighton. Thank you so much. I just had to mention her. I know she's listening.
No, you don't have to do that.
Well, she's my dear friend. I've known her my whole life practically. Her brother and I were kind of raised together. We grew up a block away from each other, so we went to CU together, and so Darlene and I have known each other.
Good things.
All kinds of good things.
What about the restaurant right there at the corner where it kind of meets by the railroad track? Val's?
Oh, Val's Cafe.
How did you forget about Val's?
Everybody loved Val's Cafe. Their tostadas were off the chain, man. I still remember them to this day.
Still, this is stuff you don't know about. The Love Doctor, all the things he used to do back in Brighton. And you know, you remember the sugar factory?
The sugar factory. Actually, there's a huge history in Brighton. There was a lot of things that went down in Brighton historically. Right where the sugar factory was, that was a containment place for the Chinese when the World War II.
It wasn't Chinese.
Or Japanese, I'm sorry.
And let me tell you about this.
Yeah.
Because all the Japanese were there, my doctor was Dr. Fujisaki.
Oh,
and my dentist was Dr. Waihara.
Oh, okay. Those names sound familiar.
They're real. I mean,
no, those names. I think we actually
the Japanese are so good to me. You know.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the German nurse they had. She's great, big, huge. And I'd go visit her.
Yeah, come here, Henry. I got a little something for you.
That's all. And Danny, okay, so you were a Brighton pup, then you went to become a Brighton Bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go through high school and everything?
I went through high school, definitely, and like you said, my nickname in Brighton at that time was Trippin' Dan. And let me kind of explain that a little bit.
There's no explanation.
Yes, because
everybody
people kind of think, oh, he was a big get high guy.
Well, you were.
Was I? I don't remember.
Being exposed here.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he was.
But you know, the reason I think I got that name, to clarify that just a bit, was you know, I was on even though I was adopted and all that, once I got well from the cancer, and I kind of had this wild streak in me, and they were kind of holding me back, and once I got well, I kind of just wanted to go explore the world.
And did you?
At 15 years old, I was gone from home.
And where'd you go?
Well, I was kind of all over. I rolled with a couple fellas by the name of Robert Gonzalez.
He's going to expose
and
you,
Danny Medina. And in those days, both these guys have passed now, but they were champion pool players.
Wow.
Danny Medina was ranked #1 in the world at that time. He had just won the Disneyland Open and had I rolled with those guys, so I learned pool pretty well.
So you're an outstanding pool player.
I was a ranked player
you're
at
still
one
an
time.
outstanding pool player.
I still played pretty
Don't
decent.
try to pull somebody and say, I can't play pool. Then
I played pretty decent, yeah. I can run out a couple balls, definitely.
Yeah, you can run out a couple of balls, ladies.
Yeah,
ladies,
I can run them out.
A couple of balls.
Yeah,
that's why we're brought to you by the Trojan Company.
Yes.
The minis.
Don't believe him, okay? But yeah, so you know, I had an interesting young life because I was on my own and free, and so I was always
at home. You had girlfriends though, right? Because you're a very good-looking guy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
and back then you were just, I mean, when you're young, you're just a gorgeous-looking dude.
Just to put in context a little bit what I kind of looked like back in those days, my hair was all the way back to my back.
That was a style.
I boxed and I always worked out, so I was in pretty good shape.
Right.
And being at CU with, you know.
Wait, this not go too far.
Oh, we're going too far. But in those days,
You had girlfriends in high school?
Oh, I had a couple. Yeah, a couple girlfriends. And
were they cute?
Oh, yeah. I don't know, for some reason it was like cheerleaders.
And
we're kind of, well, Darlene was a cheerleader. And let me tell you something about Darlene. We cracked up about this the other day because I had to go get my hair done. And I was telling one of the ladies who was in her chair, yeah, when I was in high school, because she was like 3 years older than me.
Right.
So I was a sophomore and she was already a senior.
Right.
And I tried to kiss her one time. And she told me, no, Danny. And so we always crack up about that.
How come they always say that?
Well, she was all Miss,
cheerleader.
Yeah, Miss Cheerleader, and I was just, tripping.
Then as you continued on, you went to, now we can get to see you.
Okay, CU Boulder, what a great time
The
that
UMass
was.
program is what you were
The
in. Is that
UMass
correct?
program, we
United
started there.
Mexican American Students.
That
That's what
was
it
a
stood
great
for.
program, helped me get in there. At that time, just to give you the feeling of what was happening on at CU at that time, CU, Nebraska, and Oklahoma were ranked 1, 2, 3 in the nation in football at that time.
Well, they didn't allow Mexican Americans to go to school there. That's why there was United Mexican American Students.
Right, and if you passed the summer program, you got to get into the regular CU program.
They had to tutor you and everything.
And they had
teach you
to
how to
tutor
read
you,
and write.
right. Well, I was always, to me, really, school was kind of boring because I was pretty good at reading and all that kind of stuff. I was a speed reader. I mean, I could do my sister's homework, but I wouldn't do my own.
Oh my gosh.
So my parents would be like, Dan, you know this stuff. You know it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of boring to me. So I do everybody, but I wouldn't do my own.
You would do everybody.
I would do everybody's stuff, yeah.
That's why we're brought to you by Trojans.
Brought to you by the mini Trojans, yes.
And
So
as-
that
as
was an
time
interesting
continued
time,
on,
yeah.
I mean, you kept going, and you go to all the big dances and the parties and concerts.
Music was
What
always
was
a
the
huge part
kind of
our lives.
music that was back in the day? What
Oh,
were some
those
of the
days, you're
bands?
talking Tower of Power, Tierra, Malo, El Chicano, Santana, Chicago,
Stevie Wonder,
Stevie
everything.
Wonder, all those groups. That was a superior time in music, I think.
Right, I think so too.
It was a great time in music. Really, everything that's played now is a
remake of it,
spin-off
yeah.
of that. And I do a
Or
lot
a
of those
backdrop of the music.
covers, remake covers on my show, so you'll hear a lot of those. But yeah, the music back then, it was so original.
Yeah.
It was so original music, and it was just, not like today at
So
all.
you would go to some of the concerts.
We'd go.
Did you go by yourself? You go with a girlfriend? Did you go with
I
all
was-
the guys?
you know
You
what?
hung out with guys, right?
I was pretty much a loner guy, to be
So
truthful.
you go to the concert by yourself.
But in general, I never left by myself.
You needed a ride home.
Yeah, well, actually, a lot of the concerts were right there on the on campus.
Right.
So that was a
Easy.
really cool time. Yeah, my brother Ernesto was a teacher there at that time, so I got to hang with him. And CU was just an awesome time. Even though being on my own, I can remember holidays where everybody'd be gone, and because that was my place to live,
Right, so you stood there. So
I
I'm
was
not
there
going
by
nowhere.
myself, and I can remember walking around the campus and absolutely nobody else being there, just me. It was pretty crazy. But CU was great for me and taught me a lot, and I had a great time.
Who did you hang out with over at CU?
Oh, well, in Brighton, there was a couple other guys that went with me over there. One, and you got to remember, in Brighton, everybody had a nickname. Okay, so I went to school with Beaver. And
Did he like Beaver? Or
Big
what?
Joe. Big Joe, oh
And Beaver.
man, and Beaver, yes. And we kind of rolled up on CU, and Brighton was well represented for sure, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Did you finish up there? Or did you?
I never finished the grants that we had, or they ran out, and unless you were able to have a certain GPA, they wouldn't allow you back. So I went to work.
Wow.
Where'd
you go to work at?
I started out of CU. I started at Cudahy
Wow,
meatpacking plant.
that's hard work.
Yeah, my dad was a union rep there, and he brought me in. And actually, I knew a lot of those guys because when I was sick, my dad used to bring me in, and I'd kind of sit over
Hang
there,
out
and
and
hang out there. And so I got to know a lot of those guys. And then when I came back as an older guy and went to work, they're like, "Wow, this guy made it, man!" So pretty cool, definitely. And so after Cudahy, that's when I started at the Federal Reserve Bank, and I was there for 13 years and had some great friends there. Fran Zuniga, Janet Clannon.
Oh, you met Fran over there?
Fran
Really?
was from the Federal Reserve. That's where I met
And
her.
what happened? How come she didn't stay there?
I'm not sure what her situation was, why she didn't, but I ended up getting married, and
let's get to that. Let's. You found your wife. Where'd you find her?
well, now ex-wife, but
Ex-wife.
I found
for in
her.
case you didn't know, it's ex-wife.
Yeah,
What's her name?
Definitely single. Her name was Laura.
It was, or her name is?
Her name still is Laura. Yeah. I don't think she's changed it. Yeah, but we
changed
had
it to protect the innocent. She
You're
kept
right.
her name too. How come they always keep the
I
husband's
don't
name? They
know,
won't get rid of it.
Yeah, but we had 4 incredible kids, and kind of backtracking just a second is when I was sick, they told me, you know, I wouldn't live past a year, and so I beat that.
Yeah.
And then they told me I'd never have kids, and I had 4 and 5 years. So, you know, my whole life has been about nobody can tell me no. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep.
Until you get a yes.
Yeah, until I get a yes.
And what's
you
your
know?
kids' names?
My oldest, Daniel Ulibarri, my namesake, Daniel Ulibarri Jr., and of course my my lovely daughter Angelica, and
Somebody's getting married too.
yes, and then of course we go to Alexander, my other son, who just got out of the army, and then my baby girl Elizabeth, getting married in Vegas in August, and we've rented.
How old is she?
She is 27.
27. She's going to. You guys are going to Vegas.
We rented a mansion over there for 4 days. It's 2 houses with a giant pool, kind of like DJ Khaled. Oh, he's on that motorbike and in the, what do they call them, wave runners or whatever. Right. And so it's going to be a off the hook
What day
party.
Is it?
Well, it's 4 days.
August
13th through the 17th.
That's going to be great.
Yeah, so 4 days in Vegas with the mansion. All kinds of
4-day
family
party.
coming from California. A lot of people coming from Colorado. It's 9 bedrooms and 11 bathrooms total. So
I like when they have enough bathrooms, right?
I
Especially
know.
if it's a party.
Heck, you got to have somewhere to sleep. You know?
What's Danny doing in the bathtub?
Yeah.
Now you've been to some parties back in the day. Let's go back to some.
Oh
parties.
man.
The parties were good back in the day. House parties, good parties. None of the kind of
The parties then, you know,
Yeah, they were
the
fun,
attitude.
dancing.
Everybody danced.
Yeah, it was always
Nowadays, everybody's just staring at their
around.
phone. You know what I mean? You invite everybody over and they're all like that, and you're like, hello, or we're supposed to talk. And I think that communication part of it is, because in our days, it was a beeper.
Yeah.
You know, if you even had one.
Yeah.
If not, you had to have a pocket full of quarters or dimes or whatever. And
Go on the telephone.
yeah, and
Where's the telephone around here?
one
It's up the
ringy
street.
dingy, 2 ringy dingy. Yeah, so definitely a different time, and you know, getting out of high school in those days, the Vietnam War had just ended,
Oh,
like
man.
3 years.
Did you get inducted?
I actually, they gave me the choice to go to school or go to the Army, and I ended up going to CU. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So you got out of that.
So I got out of that, and really,
How long? Let's go back to the marriage. How long were you married?
I was married 22 years.
22.
Yeah.
22.
22 years.
That's
yeah.
a long time.
It was a long time, yes.
And you know how things happen.
Hey,
Shoot happens, right?
shoot happens, you know, people, you know,
Break
change.
apart, yeah. They
You
see,
know, and
they see grass on the
grass is always greener on the other side.
What is that? What does that mean, Henry? Grass is always greener, and then they go over there, nibble the grass, and forget where they came from, and
You
then
know,
say,
people
"Oh,
make choices in their lives, you know,
Yeah.
and the repercussions that happen after that are all something that.
But your family, your kids all stood around you. They
Oh yeah, they're
well, how
all
old was everybody
supportive.
when this happened?
Daniel, oh, they were all in high school.
Oh,
at
so they
that
were
time.
already up and running.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you know, it was semi-traumatic, not as bad as
Yeah,
if they
any
were
kind of-
very young.
Three
yeah.
things in life that affect anybody is the loss of a job, a death in the family, or a divorce. Those are the 3 most traumatic things that happen to people.
Yep.
So, Danny, how did you overcome that?
Overcome the
the
divorce thing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, first of all, I had a very good mentor at that time, Mr. International Paul Chavez.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
How did this kind
Well,
of mix together?
because
Because
he had just kind of separated from
I
his
can't wait to
ex.
get him in here.
That's,
got some stories.
That's how many sessions is that going to be? Because he's
How many
but,
sessions? Is that?
But anyway, he kind of helped me through that period because he'd been through it so many times, you know. And I'm not going to get into all that.
No, but he
uh,
just helped you
keep my mind straight, and we got a house together, got all the kids, and we were all living together.
Let's
It was a
let
great
the
time.
audience know how you and Mr. International Paul Chavez are related.
Well, in Mr. International, Paul Chavez, who's been a DJ in the Denver metro area for
30 some odd years.
30
right?
some odd years. That's my little brother. So we've been in the music industry, whether it's through Paul and me kind of in the background, helping with the administrative side. So I've been around TV, marketing, and music my entire life.
All that time. huh?
That whole time.
Okay, so he helped you through all this, and how long ago was it before you started getting over it? You never really get over it, right?
No. I don't think you ever truly
Yes, 'cause
get
you think,
over
wow,
something like
how,
that.
How did that happen?
Right, and I don't want to go too deep into that, but it was.
Man, there's a whole story behind it.
Yeah, there's a whole other session behind that. And you can pick that up on my next
Good.
book coming up.
Good,
The
tell us,
Love
Dan.
Doctor Tells It
Tell
All.
us about it. Everybody wants to know a little tidbit. You got to leave them with a little tidbit, and then we'll drop it.
Well, she found someone else, and you move on.
How come it's always their gym instructor?
So-
Shows them how to do
Yeah, that's
aerobics.
pretty.
Here, just move your leg
pretty
over here. And
generic,
move your
yeah, that.
Let me help you
that
bend
happens.
and,
Yeah, let me help you stretch out and all that. Whatever. Yeah, but things happen and you move on.
Were you pretty pissed off?
Uh,
Hurt and then pissed off, and then you get over it.
you
think,
go through the
all these
whole
changes.
emotional.
Did you almost lose
gambit.
your job from it?
Actually, had a really nice house, and
Everything was going
everything
good.
was going good. And then when you get a DUI and you're a driver,
It's over.
so I had to rebuild again.
Yes.
Again after the divorce, and then 4 years later, boom, that DUI screwed me, and then so basically the last 8 years have been total rebuild.
Completely.
Yes, and
And you still talk to her, right?
yeah, she still comes around and all that. I mean,
No holes. You still talk to
I
her.
just kind of deal with it. It's not. I'm not gonna.
But you're so mature now.
I'm
it's
not,
like,
I'm not gonna judge anybody for
for being Mensa.
Yeah.
I
Who
can't
am I
believe
to
you
judge?
said that about her.
Who am I to judge people? I've got a crazy
There's a song.
streak.
There's a song like that.
Is
Who am I
there?
to judge?
Who am I to judge? Yeah, I mean, people just grow up differently, and of course, I was 11 years older than her.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
Where'd you meet her?
I met her at the Federal Reserve. Yeah.
Oh, she worked there too.
Yeah, I came in one day and my manager
Wow.
goes, "Wait till you see this new lady I hired." And I go, because I had just come from vacation, and I seen her walking down the hall, and I was like, "Damn,
Wow.
that's going to be mine." And sure
Yeah.
enough, it was, and then the whole thing. So be careful what you ask for.
You might get it. Then you have 4 children. That's incredible. 4
Four
children.
incredible kids. Yes.
When you do that, it seems like you're in it for the life.
Oh
haul.
yeah. So no matter what, she's going to be their mom.
Yeah.
So I mean,
she'll
you gotta,
always be there all the lifetime.
You got to deal with it.
Yeah.
You got to just deal with it. So and you're better off to be mature about it.
And so now you still see her from time to time. What's your kid saying? She's going to go to the wedding in Vegas?
Yeah, her and my sister Rachel, they have their own room, and I have my own room. They're in that side of the house.
Are you going to sneak over into the room?
I might accidentally push her in the pool. I don't know.
Hold her underwater.
How many bubbles is that? Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that, but the thought about it. Yeah.
And you continued on, and you hung around with your younger brother. You went to all the events that he would put on. And there was a lot of big events he would be a part of. He's been with all the different radio stations.
Yeah, we did some huge things together. We were a part of the team that brought the first 3-day Cinco de Mayo to Colorado.
Yeah.
After that, Downtown Partnership kind of stole our idea and got Budweiser, and they did it continuously. But that 3-day Cinco, we started that.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Chavez, Dave Gallegos, and myself, we worked it. It took us a whole year to put that event together, and it was so huge, Henry, that the highway patrol had to come in and start guiding people in because the highway was just packed.
Jam-packed.
Jam-packed. So by the end of the event, because Paul and I are in the Winnebago counting all the cash, and we have a few $100 left, right? After we paid all the bands, all the equipment, everything, and then here comes the Highway Patrol with their bill, and we need to get paid right now. So we just moved that pile. I think we ended up with like $13 or something.
Isn't that funny? They got guns and everything. And we
need our cash right now.
Yeah, so.
But it was a great time. We had all the Malo El Chicano here, war. We had the lowrider car show, basketball events, boxing.
A little bit of everything.
It was a little bit of everything. It was huge. It was great. And so once again, somebody stole our idea. And welcome to 3 Days Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, so as you continued on, you wanted to you've always wanted to be in radio and stuff.
I've always kind of thought I had what it takes to...
You had a face for radio.
I had a face for radio. Yeah, definitely. So I was, wanted to do that, especially watching Paul and Dave and all these other DJs come up.
Well, Dave wasn't really a DJ.
No,
it was your brother Paul.
Paul was more the DJ. Dave was in a band called Aguila.
Yeah.
And he played congas. I was actually best man at his wedding.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And they're from Brighton, too.
And they're from Brighton, yeah. And Aguila, they were like Earth, Wind, and Fire in those days.
Before they were.
Before
they
hot
became
group.
Aguila, they weren't very good.
Yeah, but when they became Aguila and they added the horn section from Denver and
put everything together
and
correctly.
Man, let me tell you, they were smoking hot. Yes, definitely.
And it took a while.
It took a while for them, but we were always there with them. And then once they got really hot, they went on kind of like a 3-state tour. Of course, we were there with them. So my training ground for being on air started from being a guy who moves equipment and set up the group to being backstage to producing and directing and now having my own show.
Yeah, but before we get to that, talk about how, did you ever go up on stage and do any live MCing or anything?
Not but I watched everybody else do it, and I was right there. So I always felt like I had that ability in me to do that.
And did they still call you Trippin' Dan?
A lot of my friends from Brighton still do.
Are you still known as Trippin' Dan?
They still know me as Trippin' Dan.
So if you want to talk to the Love Doctor, that's Trippin' Dan.
Yeah, that they were going, that's not the Love Doctor. That's Trippin' Dan. He was the Love Doctor in training at that time, yeah.
Training. Yeah, his training.
I was, what's the doctor before
the intern?
The intern. I was an intern at that time. But I did some... definitely evaluated some people and gave out some prescriptions.
Okay, so as you continued on, so you got a divorce, and so how long do you think it took you to recover from that? Years, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, it takes.
I mean, nobody ever really recovered. But I mean, to get soft about it.
Yeah, financially, I mean, my lawyer said that it takes basically like 5 years to come out of that.
After you pay him all the money.
I was starting to come out pretty decently until the DUI hit, and then
they take all your money away from you.
Then they take all your money, and I actually even represented myself as a lawyer, and I went in there in suit and tie and did. Still going to cost you $6-7 grand,
no matter how.
And the loss of your job.
Yeah.
And the time and all that. So
you just can't get away from it. Don't drink and drive. You'll have a cop as a
believe
chaser.
me. Yes, it's not worth it. Now we have all kinds of choices.
Yeah.
In those days, there
was no such thing as Uber.
Yeah. All there was a taxi cab.
My carnicera, or my other brother's mother's son's former roommate, twice removed from the house. None of those people, huh?
No.
Or your hidden girlfriends?
I don't know about hidden girlfriends. Yeah, no. I was always pretty straight up about that kind of thing.
So did you ever get with other women after that?
After
the divorce?
Oh yeah. I dated a few ladies.
And did anybody kind of throw that at you? Let's get together. Let's hook up. Let's start a life together.
Actually,
or you didn't even care for that?
No, actually, to be truthful with you, the first couple of years was really difficult, even kind of believing women after a while. You know what I mean? I'd see their mouth moving and be like, yeah, whatever. You know what I
Can't
mean?
believe them.
You just, you're so skewed
Yeah.
by everything, and
women always say that about men too, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't think that's fair because we're all human and we all make the same mistakes.
Yes.
Well,
And it's just about going with somebody else and having a sexual relation. That's all it is. That's it.
I don't know, Henry. I've always been pretty.
Then they say you're cheating. No, they're not cheating. They're getting extra.
Yeah, they're getting extra.
Cheating means you get less.
Yeah, I
Getting
was
extra,
thinking, if you're going to make that commitment, man, just be straight up and keep the commitment.
And then if you can't keep that commitment, be straight up and say, look it.
Yeah,
It ain't working out.
Yeah, be straight up about it.
Yeah.
It makes it much easier.
Yeah, because you go the other way. Ooh, boy, does that hurt.
Then you are going to get busted. You are going to get busted, man. I don't care what people think.
Yes.
You are going to get busted. Let me turn my phone down here so I don't keep hearing all these people
They're
hitting
trying
me
to tell
up.
you what to say.
Yeah, they're trying to tell me what to say. Now, doctor, do we have anybody logged on, Henry, that we could do some shout-outs for that we know? Do we
Probably
have that?
so, but this ain't about
Okay.
everybody else.
I just
right?
wanna
It's
say
about you.
Okay.
And don't even worry about it. You could do a shout out in
Anytime.
group session.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to everybody, all my fans in Brighton, all my listeners around the world. My friend Andy Stokes was hitting me up earlier out
from
of
New
Oregon.
Mexico.
All my gente in New Mexico.
Texas, Southern Cali.
Yes, Mexican. You know what? I've never been to Mexico.
Me either.
I want to go to Mexico. I've never been there.
Everybody says you want to go. That's no different.
It's the same thing.
Same thing. You're just crossing a line
Just
in
a
the
bunch,
sand.
yeah. Yeah, but
And
all my
people who
fans
speak more
across the
Spanish
world,
and stuff.
my peeps out of England, Mr. Hatton and all that crew for putting my show live out of London.
Now, Danny.
The whole northern quarter. That's pretty cool.
Now check it out. When we had KUHS going, we've had it going. It's an old station, but it's new with the new technology, and the new technology came into play 4 years ago, going on 5. But we've had this up for a long time. So when we put it up, we first got Jesse in here. Jesse Segura. And
Great DJ, yeah.
Yeah, and then Paul.
Paul came in, and
we talked, and he didn't see this like this.
Right.
He didn't. He couldn't see it.
You couldn't visualize the bigger picture.
Yes, he would always say, "What are you in the basement with a laptop?" What are you talking about, Paul?
No.
The only thing
and
I
I
can tell
think
you,
really a lot of people still have not come to grips about the new technology.
Yes, and how it works.
Because this thing that you have built here, Henry,
it's different.
It is phenomenal. Once people come in and they kind of hear a little bit,
take a look, and
they are blown away by the technology that we have here. Within these walls, man, there's some incredible stuff.
The broadcasting capability, the softwares that are used.
Yes, it's.
And we're not hooked up to a service; we service ourselves.
Yeah, we're independently owned and operated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have different news agencies that come in here, and they're like, "Wow."
Channel 31,
you guys,
the Fox 31,
yes,
the Deuce.
Yeah, they come
Channel
in
7,
and they are like,
everybody.
"Wow." The stuff you have here is incredible,
and
everything's tiny now.
Yeah,
you got the international cameras we have here, and the Nevos and all that, and the clarity and everything.
4G
used to be huge cameras. Now they're just
tiny little.
And you can do the same thing that they do on ABC, NBC, CNN.
And they're
whatever.
using all the Osmos and
we have all that.
Yeah.
So we can be part of any event. And
now, what happened is you came with Paul, and he started this thing almost like on the Tonight Show. They had Johnny Carson had his sidekick. Is what they call it.
Right.
Ed McMahon.
And that's how I initially came into KUHS.
Yes, you came in and they called you the sidekick, but you would do all these things for Paul and announce.
Because I've always
events.
been kind of in the background, the kind of administrative person.
Right.
And then one day, of course, Paul and I always did things together. So he called me in. He goes, "Hey, I'm doing this gig on KUHS. Come on in, check it out." And so I came in together. He threw me on the mic on the side, threw the headphones on me.
It really good.
And I became sidekick at that point. And I started getting some people saying, "Hey, that guy's a nut."
Yeah.
Of course, Paul being married, there's certain things he can't say. And me being a single guy,
it was so, you can say anything.
I can say
it was
whatever
funny
I want.
about Paul. Sometimes he'd leave the mic open or on, and it would.
Oh, some
broadcast.
craziness. Yeah,
No, we
yeah.
would never tell you what used to be said.
Yeah, so after a while, you know, we became kind of a team. And then, you know, one day he's just like, hey, man, I want to do my show on my own. So I said, hey, it's your show, of course, you know. So then Mr. Archuleta stepped up and said, hey, Dan, I like what you do on air. Can you come up with a program? That was easy. I knew exactly what I wanted to do.
You already had envisioned and
I
wanted
had
it.
already envisioned the whole program, and initially Henry wanted to start me on Sunday evening, and I was like, no. The Heartbeat Show is not going up against NFL football on Sundays. It's not going up against all those others. I want primetime Saturday night and 6 to 8, and Henry was like, wow, a brand new show, and you're already trying to dictate what time you want to be on. So I didn't hear from you for about over a month. And then finally Henry calls me up and says, Dan, you got your show. You got your time slot. And at that time, by that time, I was ready to roll. I had my...
everything together.
I had everything ready. My posters, my media blitz, my playlist, everything was ready to go.
And what was really interesting, too, is we had another show going, which was really good, and it was Emily. And,
Oh, yes.
And so it was a sexual show. It
Wow,
was really cool.
yeah.
And she did it so well. It was so
What class, and so pretty and so classy.
And she
of
would
a
always
lady.
drop you when she was going to say something. It was all sexual.
Yeah, she was a trip, and that was
Do you remember when
interesting.
you? Yeah. Do you remember you came into the facility and I wanted to do a live video feed to promote your show, and she was there.
Well, let me just preface that whole thing. That day, because my son's in the Army, right?
Mhm.
He had volunteered for a mission. And he had called me and said, Dad, I'm coming home. I'm bringing all my stuff. And we're going to be there a couple days, and then I'm gone. And
It's over.
who knows what's going to happen at that point. So I had just got off the phone with him, hearing all this traumatic, to me was traumatic stuff, you know. My son's taking on this mission, blah, 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 right? So Henry calls me right after that and says, Danny, come on in. We're going to do a promo video for your new show. I have your new sponsor, Emily Wang, was there, and her show, Bedroom Discussions, is going to be before mine. And I want you guys to meet.
That really worked hand in hand, didn't
That
it?
was a great, great format. She got everybody all kind of warm and fuzzy, and then I came in with the music and got them to do the freaky deakies. Okay, but anyway,
The mattress mambo.
the mattress mambo, all that stuff. So I remember I'm on my way, and I'm thinking about this, my son, the whole time to the studio. And I walk in the studio, and boom, I am on camera. Right off the bat. No preparation, no nothing. And he goes, here's Emily. And I'm like, wow, hi, Emily. I mean, stunningly
Smoking
gorgeous woman, very intelligent. And so we automatically did a live video, and that's still on my YouTube
Yeah,
account.
and it still works. I mean, that thing, you can still pop it up there, and it
And
still
I
works.
can, you know, when I look back at that, it's such a rookie. But yeah, we did pretty good.
And now you have the Heartbeat Show. How long has it been going?
Heartbeat Show started November 27th? 24th?
You got to figure that
I think
out,
it was
man.
the
This is all up to you.
27th.
It's up close and
It
personal,
was
brother.
in the end of November, so it'll be completing 4 years in November.
4 years.
And starting my 5th year, yeah, I remember at first.
And I show you all these radio stations that are just replicating your
Well,
show.
yeah, there's a
They
lot of...
are
yeah.
giving you some stiff competition, and
But that's fine. You
Yeah,
know that.
that's part
You know
of it.
what? The whole world needs more love.
yeah.
You know, this world is so screwed up right now. We need more love jams in this world.
Yeah.
We need people to step back and hug and kiss.
So
and
4 years going on
More,
the Heartbeat
yeah.
Show, and so you've had a lot of great guests. What were some of the guests? One guest that you brought in here
Jeez.
that
I have
you
had
never
some-
let me live it down. You brought
Sylvia?
Yeah, you brought her
well,
in here.
yeah, I met Sylvia Taziri on Facebook. We became friends. I invited her to my show. She ended up being on my show like 7, 8 times. And every time she came in, my show would just rise. So,
well, you sure is your show rising?
Yeah,
This is brought to you by the Trojan Condom Company.
Oh, Henry. So anyway, you know, and a gorgeous, smart woman, you know, which
Latina
on top of it, and she came on the show. Now has her own show that has just taken off
to the moon.
Yeah,
so she's always being propositioned.
So
to do
yeah,
all these
Sylvia and I are
events.
very good friends. Make sure to check her out on Sunday morning, Canciones de Domingo.
Who else did you have on the show?
Oh, jeez.
There was one gal you brought in there. It was supposed to be my guest, but you did instead of having Shawana.
Shawana was here. We did a great event with to send money to Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
that was a really fun event. We met a lot of them on, and you'll see some pictures of that.
You went down to the Chili Festival way out south. You were doing a live feed for the Chili Festival way down south.
That was a great time. It's just fun
non-stop.
being
Did
in
you
the
get
media.
to ever go to Winter Park?
Went to Winter Park. Culbertson. We went to that one.
Yes.
That was a great event. That's the only one I've went to. I know we're sponsored to that nearly every year.
Yeah.
I want to go to some more of those.
So a lot of things that your show is doing, and now your show is trending. A lot of people have been on your show.
Trending worldwide, yeah.
Lots of
Andy Stokes, a lot of gorgeous models.
And Andy Stokes, he's been super. I mean, he was one of your best guests.
Andy Stokes, let me tell you, that guy has taken off. You know, not like it was because of my show. That guy was primed to take off.
Now he did a cut with Snoop Dogg.
We did the Flow, that jam. The Flow has really taken off. I'm kind of an old school Andy Stokes. I'm still love the Circle CD he did. That to me that's but the guy's a incredible artist.
Well, he used to be a background vocalist for the big names.
For the Temptations, Four Tops, all them. He's always been around those guys, and
so he knows.
And I remember I told him, when did you really know when you had made it? He goes, I was doing backup for Charlie Wilson.
Yes.
And Charlie Wilson told him, Andy, you need to go solo. And he did, and now...
Did he mean solo, shut it down, go low?
No, solo, on your own, bring your unique talent to the world, and he did, and look where he's at now.
So there's been a lot of... KUHS has had over 600 superstar artists in the studio. With all these variables, there's been...
Yes.
Over all this time period, there's been some super stars. And you know, like Andy Vargas.
I was just going to mention him, I mean, lead singer of Santana, you know, Andy Stokes.
The lead singer of the Platters.
That was awesome. You did that interview. That was incredible.
We had Dr. Rock, who started the Santana group, and all the other groups.
The original.
Who started the Mahler groups. And,
yes.
I mean, he promoted them all and got them all going.
Yeah.
He was in here. I mean, there's been all these superstars that...
Yeah, from the jazz side.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You had all those...
and Cheryl was all stoked about that. And then she sang a song.
I got to sing with Cheryl Renee.
And she kind of followed it up. No, she kind of followed it. I said, they didn't care. You were still doing the song.
Yeah.
And Cheryl, did such a fine job with the
Cheryl Renee, people.
The records guy and the guy of Earth, Wind, and it was so neat to have them in here.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
And it keeps going. And we've had Cass Clayton, and she's
wow, what a great talent she is.
Just took off to the moon.
She is off.
60-minute men out of Boulder are just kicking butt. All these people coming through here are kicking butt.
Yeah, I can remember back in the day, you couldn't get a decent artist out of Denver.
Yeah, now Shelvis, look at her, she's kicking butt.
Colorado is just rising the cream of the crop. Dot Zero, are you kidding me? Yeah, our man, Mr. Steve.
And look at...
and he has his own show on Sunday nights, yes, definitely.
And Greg...
Greg Rashid out of Bangkok, Thailand.
No, I was going to tell you about Greg Goodlow.
Greg Goodlow,
the horn sax
player.
Yes. No, he's a guitarist.
Or the guitarist, I'm sorry.
Number 3 on the Billboard Jazz charts. Number 3. He's almost hitting the
He's
number 1.
He's a good friend of KUHS,
yes,
so that's awesome.
It goes on and on and on. Daryl Woolfolk of...
Foots. My man Foots, the drummer for Gladys Knight.
Yes, all these.
Yeah,
and
got
it just
to
goes
meet
on
him.
and on.
Yeah,
and
that
on.
was some good time. He still needs to come in the show. We have some things to talk about, definitely. Of course, the darling of Denver, Miss Vero.
Yes.
She's been in here. Mr. Ernest Washington.
Oh, he can.
You know, I brought him in for Sylvia's birthday on my show, and that was a great live broadcast that had hundreds of thousands of views on that.
And Danny, tell us now. Okay, so you've been with KUHS and for a long time, and we were at a different studio. Now we're in this studio. This studio is really nice.
Really nice, yes.
And it's in a more secure.
Secure, yeah. Because
you
we
can't
are
get
worldwide radio.
You can't get in.
No.
Everybody said, "Come on, let me in, man."
No,
He's not
no,
listening to me.
no.
That door.
I can't even get in.
But that's good.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
good. We have to have security
because
anymore. The
before-
world is just too crazy.
Yes, that's what we were saying. Because
Yeah.
sometimes things are said in here, and we've brought in people who are running for mayor, people who are running for office, and so we're trying to get too political. We are bipartisan, so we don't take sides to
Right. We
anything.
just deliver the format, and and whoever we bring in, they express their views, and you take it for how you want. We don't.
Now here's what's going on. Now we've got to get up close and personal with you. I bet you a lot of people said, "I didn't know that about that."
Yeah.
Danny, what's in it for the future? What do you think? And we talked about this. You say, "I can't do this forever."
No, and in actuality, going on soon 5 years of being the love doctor. At some point, my real goal, and we've talked about this, is I want to do a morning show.
Yeah.
I want to do from like 6 to 9. Be crazy, jam any kind of music, because we can. We can play any song we want, and talk about what's going on during the day, and just have fun.
That's right.
Instead of being locked into kind of pigeonholed as being the love doctor, which that's, that's my baby, my idea, produced, directed, except the music, of course.
Now, who used to
my friend DJ D-Rock helps me with all that.
Who used to do your you'd always have two different people who'd come in here and help you engineer your show.
Well, of course, Mr. Steve Stalsey helped me.
That's the start with.
And then we had
Robert Lopez.
Well, yes, DJ Raw Bass. I
gotta
know,
give
brother.
him some.
Oh yeah, some big love to you, bro. Thank you, Janine Santana.
Yes. Give
The
her love. They got their own
much
little,
love to you, hon. Thank you so much. You taught me a lot.
The BS radio shows.
Yes.
It's called BS radio.
You catch me. Let me see. Stormy.
Yes.
We had Stormy.
But she didn't help you.
No, but
That's
she
what-
was
that's
kind
what
of
I'm-
with us
That's
during
what I'm
that
talking
time.
about. Who you
VS Radio,
who
yeah.
took care of your station for you. Now, in the future, now you take care of your own. You engineer your own stuff.
I
and
run
everything
and
is
direct,
difficult, but you got to watch every detail, and even to this day, you still can miss.
Once in a while we'll mess up and some will be hot or something, but yeah, actually it started, I used to have a producer, now I produce my own show.
And so
and
you
everything-
talked about maybe getting an intern here to become the new love doctor. Some
Yeah.
really good-looking young guy.
I'd like to
hot
have
and stuff.
a good-looking young guy with a nice voice and
Maybe a chick,
knows,
you know?
or maybe a chick, and or a woman, or whatever. So KUHS always evolving, the love doctor's evolving, and let's see where it all goes. Who knows?
And the last question.
Okay,
Because we
here
got to
we
call
go.
it a day. Okay, Danny, tell us what was the most interesting part of your life that you've ever been through. Well, we covered divorce, we covered this, we covered that. There's something that was just, and then we're going to leave them flat. We won't tell them everything. You're going to hear it first right here. Is when we're brought to you by the Trojan Condom Company.
Are you talking a specific person or
Anything, but don't mention.
event?
Event, person, something happened to you.
Red Rocks. Let's just say it was Red Rocks.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that was a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Up
what
on the
happened?
hill,
Yeah.
during a concert.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And you didn't get caught, did you?
Didn't get caught. Absolutely amazing time.
It was awesome.
You know who you are.
Yeah. And with that being said, you have you can do a shout out to your entire audience. We're going to say goodbye for now. Thank you
Okay.
for joining us here on KUHS Denver with the series Up Close and Personal. We're offering this series so you can get to know all our BDJs. DJ means video DJ. A lot of people don't understand what the V stands for. Well, everybody's gone video, and all the other stations are going video. Everybody's going live.
But
We've been doing this forever.
yeah, since it started on.
Yes. It used to be called Facebook
No.
mentions.
Facebook mentions.
And we were on for a whole year before it became Facebook Live, and then they let
but
everybody
before
go.
it was Facebook Live, what was it before that? Excuse me.
Facebook mentions.
Yeah, but it had
That's what it was called.
what was the name of the platform before Facebook?
MySpace?
MySpace. You did the very first live video on MySpace.
MySpace, yeah.
So that's how far back.
Way back.
Incredible
Interesting.
stuff.
You got to be up close and personal with the Love Doctor, Danny Ulibarri, and thanks for joining us. It's been real. We've had a great time here, and don't forget, for the next one, we're going to have either Rhonda Shea,
Nice.
Charlie Pacello, or Sylvia Taziri. She's trying to hold off, but we're going to pick one or the other. We haven't got time, so she can't hold off. I tell you, you're gonna.
She's good. She's a pro already.
Yeah, but I'm going to bring out the
all
up
those
close and
three
personal
you're
stuff.
talking. Those are pros, man. You know,
They know how to,
Charlie. Are
they
you
know how to
kidding me?
avoid me if they talk ahead of time. So
Yeah,
they'll
Charlie
get there.
Pacheco. Yeah, I call him Charlie Pacheco.
Then we had Steve Stalsey that started out with this great show.
Uh-huh.
Then we went right to Dr. Lowell. He didn't want to spill nothing.
Yeah.
He kept it.
I mean, and then
He
you're
kept it
talking
so
Rhonda
straight
Shea.
Oh,
I mean,
Rhonda-
come on, Rhonda Shea.
she's
Are you
gonna
kidding
blow
me?
it away, yeah.
You're talking true pros.
She's not afraid to
I'm
say
just
anything,
glad I
man.
went before them because.
So there you have it. Coming up next, you're going to have the Radio Whisperer with Steve Stalsey with the Jazz and
The
Soul
master.
Express. So with that, we're going to leave you be and say goodbye for now. It's been
Yeah.
real. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Yours truly, the doctor, saying love you. Peace. I'm out of here.